Blessed be my witches / spiritualists. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are going to be discussing something that I've got quite a few emails about. So I thought that I would give you guys my 8 reasons or 8 signs that you may in fact be a witch. Number 1. Alright, so number one is, now this is going to be a 2-part one, y'all. I'm going to answer the question of a sign that you may be a witch, but I also wanted to ask you this question. What is your definition of a witch? For me, a witch is a state of mind. I have spent many years teaching. I've spent many years practicing. And the one thing that I found is that no matter the religion, whether it be Buddhism, Taoism, Sikhism, Hinduism, whether you go to church, synagogue, whether you go to a fire temple, whether you go to a mandir, wherever you go, if you are going to actively set an intent and put it out into the universe, wanting it to come back to you, expecting it, molding your reality to bring something into your world, you may not call yourself a witch by that definition, and that's perfectly fine. But the fact of the matter is, sending out an intent, creating, whether you like to refer to it as magic or not, right, is the definition of witchcraft. You can be a witch and not even know that you're a witch, and may never identify as a witch. I remember watching a show and the guy said, I'm not calling you a hoe. You just have hoe tendencies. Alright? So I'm not calling you a witch. You just have some witch tendencies. So you may not call yourself a witch, honey, but if you are sending out intents, especially if you're lighting candles and burning some incense, honey, you got some witch tendencies. The definition of magic is sending out energies to be able to transform an environment, a situation. Now, be that prayer, be that lighting a candle, be that burning incense, whatever you want to call it. Whether it is setting an intent, putting it out there into the cosmos, it's still witchcraft, darling. So if you do this, you may be a witch. Number 2. Do you like to challenge yourself in an attempt to be able to understand the self better? There's so much discussion going on right now about mental health. So many people go through these ups and downs and they see it as a negative thing. I don't necessarily see it as a negative thing, and I'll tell you why. People who are forced to look at themselves, to delve deep inside themselves in attempts to get to know themselves better. Now, my heart goes out when it comes to the pain that comes with a lot of this self-exploration. And yes, I strongly believe in mental health. But I also believe that there is a beautiful, beautiful shining light in this darkness. It's about understanding. It's about self-exploration. So, if you put in the time, whether it be something that you do because you would like to do it, or something that you do because you suffer from, quote unquote, mental illness. If you're challenging yourself, if you're trying to better yourself, if you are working towards knowing thyself, if you are trying to really view the deepest part of your soul, and you're actively wanting to grow and evolve, you may be a witch. Number 3. Can you see, feel, and understand the power of the mind and thought? There are scientists now that are starting to prove that it is not the external that molds our reality, but rather our internal that molds our external. It has been called many things, the law of attraction, soul, mind, what have you. But if you understand, and it resonates deep within inside of yourself, that you have the ability, by the thoughts, by the consciousness that you hold, you have the ability to transform your world. If this resonates deep inside of you and you understand this concept and you try and live by this concept, you may in fact be a witch. Number 4. Are you aware of the fact that you are part of something greater? And do you actively seek a deeper connection with that, a stronger connection with that? Do you understand that everybody and everything has a purpose? Do you try to allow yourself to evolve into the best, most supportive self you can be? There's a strong disconnect that people have. Now, this disconnect sometimes can get confused, and we're going to be doing a video on understanding your emotions and understanding what really is going on within inside of you. But if you can understand the fact that you are part of something greater, when you acknowledge and embrace that you are part of something greater, and you, as I said, actively try and build that connection through whatever form it may be, whatever religion it may be, whatever belief structure it may be, if you acknowledge and honor that, you may in fact be a witch. Number 5. Do you acknowledge and see the dogmas that are around us within our day-to-day lives via religion, via politics, via social conditioning? Do you acknowledge them, and do you actively try and keep them outside of your energetic sphere? You see, to me, a witch has always been someone who tries to hold a space of neutrality, a space of comfortability. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who say, but what about those negative practitioners and so on? Do I view them as witches? Yes, I do view them as witches. Right? But I also understand that there is light and dark, right? Good or bad, right or wrong, is an illusion. If you can acknowledge that there are dogmas, and if these dogmas are hindering your ability to connect, then yes, you may be a witch, but you may not be utilizing your highest and deepest self. However, if you are taking the time, putting in the energy to be able to remove these dogmas, to create that inclusivity, to be able to connect, then you may in fact be a witch. Number 6. Are you drawn to spirituality because of a deep need to be able to connect with your fellow woman, man, and environment? When you feel your environment, your surrounding, if you are the type of person who your environment is a reflection, and you know it's a reflection of your internal state, and you can feel it strongly, and you try and work within this to change either your thought processes, try to change, the situation that around you to allow for more love, more light, more understanding, more support, more this, more that. If you do this actively, if you are aware of this, and you try your best to be able to connect on a deeper level, to be able to dissipate some of the vibrations that are dense, limiting, hurtful, painful, what have you, you may in fact be a witch. Number 7. Do you think outside of the box? Do you like to challenge the status quo? See, a witch thinks outside the box. A witch does not just buy into illusion. To me, a witch is someone, we have always been on the forefront of change. We have always gone against the status quo. We never settled for mediocrity. Honey, we drowned, we had needles stuck into our eyes. We had to run and hide We had to save our craft with our own lives. We've always asked questions. We've always went against the status quo. If you have that fight, if you have this need for the truth, if you want to question, if you want to break down limits and blocks and barriers that hold you in a state of stagnation and your fellow human and animal and plant alike, you may very well be a witch. And last but not least, number 8. Now, I know we touched upon this a little earlier in this video, but I really want people to understand that being an empath and feeling what you feel, connecting, that is a connection. It is a connection. If you can feel your environment, that's a connection. If you have sympathy and if somebody's hurting and you can feel their pain and you're concerned about them and you want to assist them, right? That is a natural healer, a natural witch's tendencies. We support, we feel, right? We use our intuition, right? And intuition also encompasses all the senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. So, if these senses and your intuition and your soul and all of these things are heightened and you can strongly feel everything around you, embrace it, my witches. Know it for what it is, a blessing. And if you can do that, and you can utilize it to help create change, to help transform, then you may in fact be a witch. All right, my witches, my spiritualists, my whatever you want to call yourself. That is our episode for today, and I wanted to thank you for tuning in. Now remember, if you have not pressed subscribe, you know you need to press subscribe. Join the Witch Please family and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below. Don't forget to press that bell icon so that you're notified when a new video comes out, because you know you don't want to miss a thing. I said it before, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic. You're always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch Please. I love you, boo-boos. Bye-bye. Do you like that?
Yeah, I would just say you might not call yourself a witch and you don't have to. You know? So
Exactly.
I'm comfortable
That's what I'm
with that,
saying.
but they're
Well,
doing the same
come on, I'm
thing.
trying to make it funny,
Okay.
Leo. You want me to get German?
I just don't think you're saying it. I'm like,
You may not call yourself a witch, but you have witch tendencies.
no, it's not even that.
Anyways.
Don't say you have witch tendencies. Just say,
Right. Why not? It's funny.
okay.
If I had someone say you may not be a witch,
Right.
but you got witch tendencies, that would make me laugh.
That would make me like...
That'd make you angry, wouldn't it?